Hey guys, it's Brad, the probate house guy. I am over here at our flip in Fairmount, Georgia. This is a manufactured home. We have just finished this flip. Well, it's not 100% finished. We're like 99.9% finished. I came over here to drop off a couple things. I had to special order some new hinges for the doors, and they just came in yesterday. But the house is clean. We had our cleaning lady over the weekend. Also coming up, pick a piece of plywood up that was left here. I'll take it back home and use it for something. And just checking everything out. So this particular house we bought, this was not a probate deal. I know I'm the probate house guy, but I don't always just do probate deals. This particular deal came, a lady who is in Bible study with my mom had reached out because this was her parents' house, and they were moving her parents closer to them. And because ironically, the lady, they used to live right next door to this house. And so they lived here, but they've moved into another property closer to Jasper, or in Jasper, Georgia. So they're moving her mom and dad closer to her for, their older medical reasons. Anyways, this house needed a little bit of work. It wasn't bad by any means, but it needed some work, needed some TLC, and they just didn't really have the time and the patience or the energy to get it ready to put it on the market. Not to mention, their parents just couldn't afford to pay the mortgage payment anymore on it. And, they were going to get behind soon if they didn't sell it. So they just wanted to be done with it. They could have gotten it ready and listed it and whatever, but there was just quite a few things. So let me walk you through what we did on the outside. Okay, here. So this is a 2000, I think it's a 2001 Palm Harbor. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's about 1,600 square feet, 3-2. And I'll show you our other one. I'm going to go to that one after this one and do another video. We've got another one that's a Fleetwood, a 2000 Fleetwood, that we've also finished as well. And that one's bigger than this one, a little bit nicer than this one, but this is sort of like I would say like probably more of like a mid to low level model. So let me walk you through what we did here. So we put a new roof on it. It did need a new roof. It had the original 3-tab roof on it from when this place was built. So it was 20 some odd year old roof. It was time for a new roof. So we put a new architectural shingle on the roof there. We did actually an Owens Corning duration shingle on this. My roofer Corey did this. We also put new gutters on the house. It like had one gutter here, but no gutter there. And some of the fascia boards, normally these have aluminum fascia. Someone had taken the aluminum fascia off and replaced some of these with hardy board, but they never painted the hardy. So some of the boards had gotten damaged. So we replaced some of the fascia boards, like the one here in that gable and the one here on this gable were fine. But the one on the flats we replaced, and we put new gutters on it. This awning came with it, which is nice. We also fixed some of the skirting. There was a lot of damaged skirting right through this area. We were able to take some of the longer pieces and cut them and reuse them to patch in some of the skirting here. We put new track along the bottom. And then there was a big covered deck porch on this. Let me see if I can walk over here and show you this. So right here, you can kind of see the line in the house. Yeah, I know that doesn't match. I'm going to get my power washing guy over here to like bleach out these the skirting here. We need to put down some straw here. I'm going to get the landscaping company to just come put some straw down and some grass seed. But you can kind of see the line. There was a big back covered porch here on here. But it was really sketch built. Like it was rotting away, and it wasn't built right, and it was attached to the fascia of the house, just all around not built well. So and you can see the footprint of it. So we ripped all that down. The porch stopped there, and there was the old AC unit was there, and then they replaced the AC unit. Actually, the lady, my mom's friend, her husband is an HVAC guy. So he actually put a new HVAC system in the house, and they left the old unit there. We tossed it all in the dumpster. I still got to get the lumber company to come pick up this pallet of concrete that we have left, and there's a few extra boards. I don't need them, nor do I want to carry them. But we put a new deck, new footings, all that stuff. Septic tank is like right here in this vicinity. And we put a smaller deck on it. And they had already cut in a back door here. I don't think this one originally had a door, but they cut in a back door here. So that's a normal like house door. If you're doing manufactured homes, they do kind of have proprietary size doors. They're typically like a 76-inch door. So they're like a kind of a weird size. And they're kind of a cheaper door. So let's walk inside here. I'm going to show you what we've done. We also painted the front door. I had to get a new piece of glass there. That piece of glass in there was broken. I went to a glass company and them cut me a new piece of tempered glass. So we replaced that. We painted the door, painted the shutters to match. This porch was already here. I actually need to toss these in the dumpster. So let's walk inside. I want to show you the inside of this house. It turned out really nice. So, oh, it smells so good in here too. My cleaning lady, the cleaner she uses, it smells really good. I love the way it smells. Anyways, I wish you could smell this on the video. It smells nice and fragrant. But this is the living room here. As you can see, you got the door out to the back porch. We put in a new ceiling fan in here. We painted all of the walls. They were like kind of there's like mobile homes. This is drywall, actually. Most people don't realize they think it's paneling, but it's actually like 1/4-inch drywall. It's thin drywall, and then they just put these batten strips over all of the seams. I've seen some people actually remove the batten strips and mud and tape all that and make it look all nice. That's a lot of work. Honestly, I don't, from a buyer's expectation point in a house like this and this price point, it doesn't really matter. You're not really going to get any more money for the house, nor will it appraise anymore if you were to mud and tape all the drywall. And for me to pay my painting guy, he does drywall work too, you know, I'm talking a few $1,000s to have him come mud and smooth all this stuff out. It's just not worth the expense. So we don't do it. So we painted everything. We come in and we prime everything. And then we paint it all. This is a color called City Loft by Sherwin-Williams. We've been using this in all of our flips for probably the last year, as opposed to, we did agreeable gray for so long. This is a much lighter color. It's a little bit more of a beige than it is a gray. And it's just a lighter color. We kept the cabinets, actually. We did not replace the cabinets. And we painted them all, and we replaced all the knobs and all the hardware and stuff with black. We put granite countertops in. It had, this just had like kind of a basic white laminate countertop in it before. So we replaced it all with granite. Fortunately, this house had standard depth countertops. My other one that I'll take you to later had 22-inch deep counters as opposed to 24. So it made, the granite had to be custom cut and the dishwasher didn't quite fit right. But in this one, it's 24 inches. So I'm glad that this was normal, and I don't understand why, as you'll see in the other house that we're going to go to, the kitchen in the other house is actually larger than this one, so I'm not sure what the point was to save an extra 2 inches. Didn't seem like it made any sense to me, but we've got a little island in here. We got granite. We replaced all the appliances. The old range hood sat like down here, so I actually cut the cabinet out higher and raised the range hood. This one actually vents to the outside too, surprising. Even like normal stick built or little cookie cutter homes nowadays, they don't even vent the hood outside. That one actually vents outside. We put in a new refrigerator. It does sit out a little bit further due to the tight space. It can't really sit any further back than it does because you won't be able to open the door. Really, this is like more of a size cut out for like an apartment fridge, but to get a full-size fridge in here, I think is so much better. So this is actually a counter depth fridge. We could have gotten a standard depth fridge, I guess, and it would have worked out okay. Anyways, yeah, there's a dent in the door. Lowe's gave me a discount on that. I wasn't going to send it back. Most people don't even expect a fridge, so you're getting a fridge with a dent in it, whatever, you can deal with it. We replaced all the lighting in the house. We replaced receptacles. Actually, a lot of these receptacles had been replaced before. Like I said, the other guy was an HVAC guy, and he went to school for electrical engineering. So he had actually replaced a lot of receptacles in this house. We replaced some more of them. We replaced all the GFIs, put in all new GFIs. We put in all new switches. A lot of times, even though mechanically they might be working just fine, they just get grungy and dirty. And yeah, I could pay my cleaning company to like sit there and scrub them all that. But like in the big scheme of things, my electrician's over here anyways doing some work. I have him replace my light fixtures. Could I have a handyman do it? Yeah. I'd rather pay my licensed electrician, Mitch, who's been my electrician for many, many years. I'd rather pay him to do it. I know it's going to be done right. And if there's ever any problems, like, it goes back on him. And he's already here. And for him to change out a receptacle, like, him and his son works for him. He's what you call a chuck in a truck. His son works for him, and they come out here and they bang this whole job out in like 3 or 4 hours. Like, they did this whole house. They changed out all the receptacles, all the light fixtures, all that stuff in a few hours. Fortunately, like I said, outside, the HVAC system was newer, so we didn't have to replace that. That's they call these a downflow unit. So that's the HVAC unit behind this little door here. They kind of screw it onto the wall. And we replaced the carpet in the bedrooms. We did have to replace a section of floor right here. There was a plumbing vent right here that had been leaking through the boot, and it had gotten the floor wet, and there was like a little rotten hole right here in the corner. So we had to cut that out, kind of sister on. None of the joists or anything were damaged, but we had to kind of sister on to put a nailing ledge to put a new board down. So we put some new 3/4 inch plywood floor down in here. We got new carpet in here. We changed out all the doorknobs. This is you can tell the lower end model units just have the basic flat panel doors. The other one I'm going to go to later actually has raised panel doors. This is another bedroom in the back here. Same thing in double wides. There's no baseboards in these things. So, you know, that's kind of a lower end models. A lot of times don't have any baseboards in them just to save a few bucks. And then that's a little microwave nook here. Instead of having over the range, you've got a little nook to put a countertop microwave in there, and you've got a little desk in the corner here, which is kind of nice. This is the laundry room. This house, this originally had polybutylene in it, and he had replumbed the whole house in PEX, which was nice. So everything in this house is all PEX. All the plumbing had already been replaced in PEX, which was nice. There's a newer water heater in here. It's only a few years old, so we didn't have to replace that, which is good. We did have to put a new laundry box in. These mobile homes come with these little cheapy, really thin plastic laundry boxes, and it was cracked and broken, and these things were all loose, and it was just a train wreck. So put a new laundry box. You can see how we kind of had to cut and move it a little bit, but this will be fine. And then there's the drain coming through. And then because this was PEX, these were easy, like just crimp on fittings, and so that all worked out good. You do have to get a special shallow box because this wall is only a 2x3, so you have to get a special normal laundry box is too deep for this cavity, so you have to get a special one there. But that was an OD one that I got from Lowe's. They did have a narrower one. You've got a little pantry in here. We just keep, whenever we're done with the project, we leave all the extra paint here. This is all touch-up paint for somebody to use in the future. And, you know, left them, the front light has a floodlight on it. If they want to change it out to a new light, they can. And I bought 2 of them already, and the other light outside is actually fine and good shape. So if they want to change them out, I'll just leave them. I mean, those are like literally $20 light fixtures, so I'm not worried about it. We always leave an extra box of flooring, extra box of the other flooring here. I do need to, before I leave here, install a doorknob right here. We are missing a doorknob. Somehow we were short. I don't know how I got that wrong, but we were. So also this door does actually need to be replaced, but we've special ordered one. It's going to be 6 to 8 weeks before it come in, because this is actually, ironically, a rare size for a mobile home, which is a 36-inch wide door. I guess they do that so that you can bring in a washer and dryer through here instead of through the side. Let me take you over to the master over here. Yeah, we replaced all the smoke detectors, again, new fixtures, new receptacles, all that stuff. Put in these new little vent covers. These are a great way to save a few bucks too. These are like a hard plastic vent cover as opposed to the metal ones. These are like $10 at Lowe's as opposed to like $20 for the metal one. You know, your standard brown metal ones that everybody's used to. I like these better. And they even have wood grain ones that actually kind of match the flooring a little bit better. But we swapped all these out with new ones. We didn't put a fan in this master because it actually didn't have a fan rated box in here. We attempted to hang a fan, and I realized that the box was not proper, and I wasn't about to tear into the ceiling and make all that redo all that. So we just put in a light here. And then these are the old gold hinges we're gonna change out. I just got the satin nickel ones in the mail yesterday. I ordered them from a company online. Let's go in the master bath here. We kept the cabinets. We did paint all the cabinets. So this is iron ore, Sherwin-Williams iron ore. Looks like there's a little spot of paint on the door there. That's okay, we'll deal with that later. We replaced the vanity lights. We put in new faucets, and we put in granite countertops in here. And then you've got the standard garden tub. These fixtures had actually already been replaced before, so we just kept those. This tub cleaned up nice. The shower, wow, the shower looks, I was just over here the other day. The shower was like yellow the other day, and now it is like white again. My cleaning lady is really good. The shower looks fantastic. It's still got a few stains on it, but honestly, in this price point, the buyer's expectations are pretty low for this. So I wasn't gonna reglaze this particular shower. We replaced the toilet in here. Someone put the toilet paper on backwards. Then this closet, for some reason, they just did like a pull chain light. I don't know why they wouldn't just put a light switch in, but whatever, I wasn't gonna change that. So we just get these little LED pull chain lights for the closet. And then we replaced the floor in here with a click lock vinyl tile that looks like marble. And we actually, this house already had a vinyl floor throughout the whole house, but it was this kind of greenish vinyl tile. It was only a few years old. They said they just put it in a couple years ago. I didn't really care for the color and the look of it. And for some reason they had like a vinyl tile out here, but then in the bath they had wood plank, vinyl plank in the bathroom, which you'd think they would do the opposite, but whatever. We just laid all this new vinyl plank right over the top of the other stuff. There was absolutely zero reason to demo all of it. It was in good shape. The floor was nice and flat and smooth. There was no reason to pull any of that up. So we actually just laid all of this tile right over the top of the old stuff and then just replaced the quarter round and painted the quarter round. So here you go. This is a pretty nice one. This one, actually, I already have a buyer for it. The neighbor who lives across the street, her adult son is actually looking to buy his first house. And he is wanting to move and live near his parents, basically right across the street. And then his sister lives right down the road, a few houses down here. So he is potentially going to be buying this from me. I should know today whether my mortgage guy can get him all approved for everything. And if so, then he's basically going to buy it from me for what I was going to list it for, less whatever the real estate commission would be, since I'm not paying a commission to an agent. I'm an agent myself, so I'll pass those savings on to him, and that way he can get a little bit better deal on the house, and he'll end up buying it from me. So that'll be cool. So this is the house. I've done quite a few of these manufactured homes. These always come with their own issues, a lot of title issues in terms of titles related to the mobile homes itself. Which this one did. We found out that the titles for this had never been issued by the state of Georgia. Basically, the original owner of this bought it straight from the factory and had it delivered here and set on site. It's been here since it was originally put here. And the state never issued titles. And back before 2004, when the T234 title retirement process was created in Georgia, this was done before that. So a lot of these older ones, a lot of people just set them on site, filed for a homestead exemption, and they considered that retiring the titles. So basically that's what happened here. And we ended up having to go get titles issued. I had to go get a title bond, which was crazy because the original owner that had originally bought this back in 2000, she had died. She only lived here for like 3 years, and then she sold it to the couple that I bought it from. They had lived here for 20 something years. She had died, so we couldn't go back to her to get replacement titles issued in her name. Nor could we get the manufacturer certificate of origin for this because Palm Harbor went bankrupt in 2008, and they were bought by another company, and all of the records prior to the bankruptcy don't exist. So if we had been able to get a manufacturer certificate of origin for this, we could have actually gotten a title for it without having to get a title bond. But we couldn't do that. I had to pay, give or take, $700 for a title bond. We had to apply for titles. I should get those in the mail here in a few days. And then as soon as I get those titles, I'm actually going to retire them. As with all my manufactured homes, you also have to get a foundation certification done by an engineer who's certified to do HUD manufactured home certifications. So I had him look at this, and he signed off on an engineer letter. So the engineer meets HUD certifications, or the foundation meets HUD certifications, and the titles are retired, which means, and this has never been moved from its original location. You have to check that. If a home has ever been moved from its original location, then it cannot be financed through FHA, conventional VA, none of the above. It disqualifies it. So this was on its original spot. So this is lendable through FHA, VA, conventional, Fannie, Freddie, blah, 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 blah. And also now, as of June of this year, USDA, this is in a USDA area because this is kind of a rural area. USDA is doing financing on pre-owned manufactured homes now. Historically, they only did it on brand new, but as of June 2025, you can get USDA financing on a pre-owned manufactured home that's on a permanent foundation and all that stuff, which this does. Even though it has skirting, the skirting is not the foundation. The piers underneath and the tie downs are what facilitates it to be called the foundation, and that's all certified by an engineer. So this will go. The buyer is going to be getting USDA financing on this. So yeah, anyways, turned out great. Smells great in here. Glad to be done with this. We bought this property. I'm making this video now on September the 7th or 8th. We bought this house the 3rd week of June. We gave the sellers a 3-week temporary occupancy, so they moved out the middle of July. We actually went ahead and got started on the project. Before they moved out, we went ahead and started the back deck, and we replaced the decks while they were still living here. And then once they moved out, I got everybody else in here, and we did all the things, and we got it done. So I think it turned out great. And if everything goes through and it appraises like I think it will, which I'm pretty sure it will, I should net about $42,000 on this project here once it's all said and done and the deal is closed. So thanks for checking it out. I'll show you the other one here in another video here shortly. I'm going to run over there now. Adios.